Hi, I'm Kat and I play Red. In the past few weeks we've done planes, we've done trains, so today I'm going to say we're doing automobiles to trek through history. And if you're old enough to get that reference, I hope you've taken your vitamins today. So anyway, today we are looking at Trekking Through History, designed by Charlie Bink and produced by Underdog Games. Let's have a look at how it plays. You're about to go on a 3-day journey through history, travelling thousands of years in a time machine to experience great moments from the past. Trekking Through History takes place over 3 rounds, each representing 1 day of your trip. Each day you will visit a series of historical events, spending a different amount of time at each. Along the way, you'll score points for completing your itinerary and visiting historical events in chronological order. Let's step through the time machine that is Trekking Through History. We have our beautiful board set up here, ready for 2 players with 6 ancestor cards. You'll have more available with a higher player count, and we'll talk about those in a bit. Our scores are set to 0, and we have our day 1 cards on the display, which is indicated here in the top right hand corner. Each player starts with 1 time crystal in their crystal tank and 4 random itinerary boards. You're going to choose 1 to start with, and the rest just go to the side for now. Then we have our clock here. Whenever you take a card from the display, you'll move your pocket watch forward on the clock. This is important for 2 reasons. Firstly, once everyone has travelled right the way around, the day will end and you'll move on to the next day. Also, the clock determines player order, so whoever is furthest at the back will take the next turn. So it could be blue moves 1 and then they'd get another turn because they're still behind. If multiple players are on the same space, the player who's on the top of the stack will go next. Players will take turns according to the watch order, and a player's turn has 5 phases. Firstly, you'll choose a card from the display that you'd like to take. You can take any of the 5 cards in the display, the one from the top of the deck, or an ancestor card. So let's have a look at what I would like. Now, I'm actually going to go with this card. So the next thing you're going to do is move your pocket watch a number of hours indicated in the bottom left of the card. At this point, you can use your time crystals to reduce the time taken. So here, this would be 4 hours. I'm actually going to reduce that to 3. So I'm then going to move 3 spaces on the clock. Once you've paid the necessary time, gain the benefits shown on the card and the map. So here I have 2 blues and 2 yellows. Now keep an eye on these benefits because sometimes they might include crystals and other things. Place each of your tokens you've gained in the topmost space on your itinerary board. So we have light bulbs here and scrolls here. Don't forget, if you cover any benefits shown on your player board, to gain them. So I actually gained nothing. However, if I'd placed over here, I'd have got 2 2 points. That would have given me a crystal. 5 points if I'd completed that row. 10 points. So now I've paid, I've taken my tokens. I'm going to place the card into my trek. Now these treks are what will hopefully score you big points at the end of the game. A trek is a series of events visited in chronological order. The more events there are, the more points you will get, which is shown on the board here. So a trek with 3 cards in it would give you 2 points at the end of the game. A trek with 6 cards would give you 10, and so on. Let's move these down. Let's finish my turn, which is to move these down and restock. Now, if in my next turn I was to take a card later than the previous card, so let's say I take this one, I'm going to go adventuring with Julius Caesar, that would be fun. Move forward 2, I gain a light bulb, I think. So that goes there, that goes here, and I'm going to gain a crystal. And I'm going to pop this card into my trek. Now, BCE is before Common Era. So obviously the chronological order is a bit different, these with the normal ones. There's also this handy guide that helps you if you need help, if you want to know what cards are likely to come up. This shows you all the cards available in each of the days and also ensures that you don't get your dates mixed up. So now I can pop that there. So in chronological order, stack them so that the date is visible. Now at this point, you can choose to visit your ancestors and take an ancestor card. These cost free time and count as the same date as the previous card. They give you one of these W tokens, which is W for wild, so you can place that wherever you wanted on your itinerary, and you can then carry on that trek. So the ancestor cards help you if you get a little bit stuck. If the next card you take is earlier and you can't place it, you're going to finish this trek, close it up, turn it upside down, and start a new one. You can only have one trek going at any time. Play will continue in this way with players taking it in turns, dependent on the order shown on the clock, until both players end up going around the clock. Now, if I was if I was on this point and I were to take this card, I'd pay 3 time and I'd land on 12 o'clock and I'd get a punctuality bonus of 3 points. If I'd been here when I'd taken the 3, I'd only move 1. You never go past 12 o'clock. So once both players have reached 12 o'clock, we're going to go on to a new day. Now, for a new day, you're going to discard all the current cards on the display and the deck here. Oops. So we take away all our day 1 cards and replace them with day 2. Now, don't be fooled. These cards are not chronological. So you can see here we've got 15 and 1600s, but we've also got 40. And we've got a, oh goodness me, a BC here. So don't rely on the fact that the cards get later as the days go on, because that's not always the case. So we replace these cards, we discard our itinerary and any tokens on it. And remember the ones we got at the start of the game, we're going to pick a new one from the ones we were dealt. So let's have a look. Oh goodness, they're all tough. Let's take that one going into day 2. Any treks you have will stay, and any time crystals you have will stay and go with you into day 2. Play continues in the order as before, so Rob's on top here, so Rob would go first going into day 2, and we'd carry on again. We go round the clock, then we go into day 3, replace the cards with day 3. At the end of day 3, it's the end of the game, and we're going to calculate our final scores. So, at the end of round 3, we're going to add up our scores and see who wins. So, you're going to have your points you've scored over the course of the game. You're going to get 1 point per time crystal left over, so I get 1 point for that. And then you're going to score your treks. So these are my previous treks and my current one. So my current one is 3 cards, which will give me 2 points. So let's get rid of that. This is also 3 points. Oops. So I get 2 points for that. And then my other trek here is 5, so that would be worth 7 points. Add those up, and the player with the most points wins. In the case for tie, the player who has the longest, biggest trek will win the game. The first thing I have to say about trekking through history is the production quality is phenomenal. Not only do we have the neoprene map as standard, it fits in the box, which we all love. We have our tokens here with a nice little lid. Even the pocket watches are designed to stack on top of each other. Everything has got extra attention to detail. It all fits in the insert really nicely. It's obvious where everything goes, and we really like that. There's nothing worse than having a fancy insert and then trying to work out how it all actually fits. This goes beautifully. But the artwork, the presentation, everything about it is just gorgeous. There's also a load of information. All of these cards, every single event in the game has got details. So we have 2686 BCE, placed Senet with the Egyptians. So it tells you a little bit about the game of Senet, which, if you don't know, you should have a look into. What else have we got here? Let's have a look. I know we have to go to 1985 here, look. So the Live Aid concert in 1985, and it tells you about it. So there's actually so much information on these cards as well. So as an educational tool, it's great. We've also got these Time Warp cards. Now, we've played a little bit with these. Don't use these until you've played the game at least once. What you'll do is there will be a Time Warp card in the middle of the clock, which will give you a special ability. And when you use it, you're going to pop your marker on it. I don't want to show you too many of them because it will spoil it, but these have a load of weird and wonderful abilities that you can activate during the game. This is definitely a family weight game. It plays up to 4 players between 30 to 60 minutes. It very much feels like Timeline, but with more game to it. Timeline's very cute. It makes me feel really dumb. But this will help you if you're then going to go on and play Timeline, because you might remember some of the stuff from this. The other thing I want to mention is there is a limited edition of Herstory, which is a female character-based version. It's trekking through her story with loads of amazing women and loads of information about them. I think this is quite hard to get in the UK, but if you're US, please check it out. Again, loads of information, I suspect it's just as beautifully presented as this, check that out as well. We really enjoy this. It's definitely the more simple end of things, but then, you know, you need to keep an eye on the cards coming up and plan where they're going to be in your turn. I know the other day there was a card that was in the perfect position, and then someone else had taken a card and it had moved and it wasn't so good. So it's constantly changing in this display because of these icons at the bottom. So it's very much be aware of what's coming and how things are likely to have changed by the time it gets to your turn. The ancestor cards are nice because they mean you're never going to get stuck, because if your trek is only one card, you're going to get -3 points. So you never want to get in that position. But the ancestor cards are limited, so you might end up fighting over them. Plus they give you the wild, which is always handy for completing these rows on your itinerary or for getting the extra points. So that's it. That is Trekking Through History from Underdog Games. It's available now. Check it out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Click like, subscribe, blah, 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 all that. Come and say hello on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I play red. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.